welcome to the Next Up on Nextdoor podcast, the show where we make fun of your neighbors so that you don't have to. My name is Kent Peterson and Brad Claggett is my co-host, and we are also brought to you by the BLEAV Podcast Network, the #1 network for professionals or professionals, however you want to say it. Brad, how's it going today, man?
See, that's what you get, man. Trying to be extra smooth with the switch up.
Dang it. I got caught.
It was good though. I liked it. I like where you were going with it.
Thank you. I'm going to leave it in there just like that. I'm not going to edit it. And you know what? I'm just going to let it flow like that. Professionals.
You edit these things?
Barely. Somebody listening really was asking that, like, did he really edit this crap? Like, he decided to leave all that in there. Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. We're off to a good start.
We always are. I do want to mention really quickly, though, that because of the CORV... what's it called?
Oh, my gosh, you have it. It affects your speech.
Is it the COVID-19? Is that how you say it?
COVID, COVID-19.
There's no R in there. Man, I just don't know how to talk tonight, which is fine. It's not like I'm recording a podcast or anything.
You just call it the corona like everybody else.
Okay, well, because of that, though, we're recording a bit early because, you know what? We don't know if we're going to survive the next few weeks, so we're going to record 2 ahead of time. And that's why we're not talking about St. Patrick's Day, because it didn't happen yet.
Not quite. When this airs, it hopefully will have gone through. They might just cancel the whole holiday in itself.
That's not a bad idea. Well, it is a bad idea. I don't know. Is that a bad idea? What do you think? I
don't know. I think everything is a bad idea right now for this.
Should we be still putting out episodes with all the pandemic that's happening?
I don't know, maybe we should leave it up to the people.
Are we laughing in the face of this virus right now by just taunting it?
No. That's what Rudy Gobert did. He taunted it and then it attacked him.
It really did get him.
Did you see that clip, by the way, where he somebody asked him, I don't know if I didn't see what the question was, but he just said he wasn't feeling good, and then I'm assuming someone asked him if it was the coronavirus, and he said no and then touched all the mics on purpose.
I did see that, which it would have been hilarious if he'd never contracted the virus, but we also probably would have never saw that clip. So I thought
spot on. You're spot on with that.
Dude, just hit the thank button next time, please. No, that's when I saw that though, I was like, that's something I would totally do that. Just to be a jerk about it. I'm going to touch all these microphones. Look at me not get sick. And then you get sick and die. So,
well, let's not go that far.
Hey, by the time this episode comes out, he could be dead.
He could.
And if he is, you know what? RIP to the Gobert family. And especially
I don't think the whole family dies.
Hey, they might have.
If they're around. Yeah, I don't know how it's... I mean, his teammate got it already. He's Agent Zero.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting things, by the way, we have a great post that we got today that we're going to discuss. And I do have to mention again that we're back in your neighborhood. Last week we did the fan submission from Maggie. Again, if you guys would like to send in a screenshot of a post with some comments, we'll be happy to read it on the air. We didn't have any real good ones from any fans this week, though, so we're going to go with one from your neighborhood. And this one is from Paige, and it's titled Stolen Catalytic Converter, which we discussed before we started recording, Brad. I have always heard it pronounced Cadillac Converter.
I also was on that page.
Oh, I see what you did there, because her name's Paige. Good one. Good one.
Thank you, man. I'm trying out some bits.
Hey, this is the place for bits. Anyways, Paige says, well, it looks like the catalytic converter thieves are still in the neighborhood near these 2 streets. If you know them, please let me know, as I'd like to return their full pack of cigarettes that fell out of their pocket while they were cutting off my catalytic converter. Thanks. Little snarky, Paige, But I do have to mention that not only did she post a picture of what looks like underneath of her car with she circled it as if something's missing. I can't tell. I don't know what it's
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to. I don't
it
know what it's
looks
supposed
like
to look like under there.
it looks like maybe there should be something else there, but I would like if this wasn't a post about that specifically, I'd be like, why did someone post a picture of their perfectly healthy car?
All right. And then she also posted a picture of the Marlboros. Full pack. She was
Yeah.
right. This thing looks pretty full. Maybe one or two cigarettes missing, but for the most part, a full pack. And then that's what we got to go with. So this is
Can
one of.
we? Oh,
Go
my
ahead.
goodness.
Please
Can
go
I
ahead.
just jump right
Y-
into how I feel?
yes.
Number one, I like how like when we're in your neighborhood, it's all like animals and grass, and when we're in my neighborhood, it's crazy people and crime.
I have always suggested that you should move out to there's less crime in my area for sure. I actually, not to get super off topic, but I went outside the other night to make sure that my garage was secure and locked up, and the door was unlocked, and I had not checked the garage door for like days. I probably shouldn't be telling people this because they
No.
might figure out
Yeah.
where I live. But the garage door was unlocked. Like someone could have easily came in and stolen all of my. Which actually, that's not a bad idea. I have nothing of value in the garage, so if you guys want to stop by and take some things off my hands,
What are you talking about?
I don't know anymore.
Now you want people to come clean your garage for you? Is that what you're trying to get at?
If they want to come clean it, sure. If they want to come take some stuff, even better. That would be amazing.
Okay.
But my
All
point is that the door was unlocked for quite some time, at least a couple of days, and secure as ever. And that probably wouldn't happen in the area that you live in because if you had a catalytic converter laying around in your garage, that thing would have been gone.
Yeah. Well, long story, slightly longer than not should have been not shorter. Goodness gracious. Anyway, the second thing I had to say about this post is how can she be positive
Mm-hmm.
that this picture of this pack of cigarettes were the person that stole it?
A little crime detective going on. That was actually what I was going to say before we dove into the comments was this is a classic Nextdoor post where we have to put our true crime hats back on. We have a crime situation, we have evidence.
I didn't know that we were doing crime hats this episode.
Yeah.
I gotta go find mine.
Oh, we're doing
Um,
crime hats, baby. Get that thing
all
on.
right.
We'll wait. We'll wait. Go get your crime hat. We'll all be here waiting for you. When you get back, we can discuss the rest of this, mister.
Okay. I'm just saying, man. Like, if she knows it's their cigarettes, why'd she take a picture of the pack of cigarettes and not a picture of the person as they were dropping the cigarettes?
How? Well, no, the person dropped them while she wasn't there, though, is what she's saying.
Well, then, but it could have been a million different people's cigarettes
Oh,
that
yeah.
walk up and down that street every day.
I mean,
All right, let's figure out if anyone else calls her out or if everyone's just on her side and feeling so bad for what we just have to assume is a missing catalytic converter. 'Cause neither of us
missing
know.
cigarettes, though. We have to address that.
That's true too. Maybe that's the true crime here. Someone lost their smokes. Is that what they call them? Does anyone call them smokes? Is that a thing?
I call them smoky treats.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
And you can continue to do that in the private confines of your home. Let's please get into this because
Let's do it.
It's been again we're losing people before we even talk.
Yeah, it's been 1 week since you looked at me.
All right, so Lynn says, "How about the city council make it a city?" Or oh, here we go. How about the city council make it a city ordinance that all scrap collectors must log and notify the police department? I think she means department.
I think so too.
I can't be 100% sure about all the used catalytic converters they purchased with names, addresses, and phone numbers of the sellers. This would be like pawn shops having to keep records. A fine of $1,000. Wow, she's getting real specific. She has
Yeah.
thought about this before. A fine of $1,000 for each violation, up to 5, and then a business license suspension after 10 violations, a business closure. No more business in the city. Nuh-uh, none. Where do these people sell these things? Maybe the city could sell this like parking tickets for enforcement.
I just can't. You know what Lynn reminds me of? Have you ever seen the episode of The Office when Dwight is in control of the building itself and he starts handing out
Yeah,
like citations?
yeah.
He's like, one side. Have we talked about this on the show before? I feel like we have, maybe.
I don't think so.
Where he's like, one citation and you get a demerit. 5 of those and then you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like she's saying. She's like, a fine of $1,000, 5 fines of $1,000, and then your business license is gone.
Oh my goodness, man. Please read the next comment because I've got a ton to say about it.
Okay, so the next comment was Julie, and she said, DNA on those cigarettes, ... These bastards need to be caught. People see them and say a black Dodge Charger. That sentence just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. No.
And then she goes on to say, and yes, police the people buying them and make the demand.
She's talking about Lynn's thing. Like she's saying, if you buy a catalytic converter, which why I don't know. We obviously don't know much about this. Is there a market for these things? I know that I've heard before that people steal them, and it's like you can get a certain amount of money for each one you turn into. I think it's used for something else. I don't know what it's used for. Clearly,
I'll Google it right now.
Please do. Anyway, DNA on the cigarettes. Again, we cannot, unless there's video evidence of the guy stealing the catalytic converter and a close up of the cigarettes dropping out of his pocket. If we know the car, it's got to be easier to just track down all the black Dodge Chargers and get a license plate.
I agree 100%. Sorry, I was reading this Google thing about why people steal these things. But going back to your comment about the DNA, what kind of DNA are we talking about on these cigarettes? Because they were not smoked.
The full pack.
Are they just talking about like his skin cells being on them, or her, like from just dropping them? Like, it's not like this person smoked a cigarette and then put the cigarette back in the box and then dropped the box somewhere.
Yeah. So it must just be, I don't know, fingerprints, some hair, some carpet follicles.
They're really putting, like, I feel like this happens quite often. They're putting a lot of confidence in the police force to just take this pack of cigarettes and be able to identify the person immediately. Like, oh, old Jerry again out stealing catalytic converters. I can tell.
Plus, there's no way those cigarettes lasted more than 5 seconds on the ground. Someone immediately was going to pick those up and use them.
For sure. All right. So the Google answer for why this is happening, it says catalytic converter theft has become popular because of their value, relative ease to steal, unbolt, or cut out, and their lack of identifying markers. A catalytic converter is a part of the vehicle's exhaust system, helps reduce vehicle pollution. Thieves take the stolen catalytic converters to metal recyclers. I think they're just turning them in just for because they're heavy.
The scrap metal.
Yeah.
And they're easy to steal.
Huh.
Oh.
Odd.
We should maybe start doing this.
Maybe. If this podcast doesn't take off and if we don't start selling some ads soon, then yeah, we're going to have to start stealing some. Let's just steal the whole car and take it for scrap. Why not?
Well, I think that's a little more hefty of a consequence if you get caught.
Well, anyways, Paige is back though. I'm just gonna gloss over the fact that, because I mean, stealing.
You go to jail for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but you're stealing a car part though. So, to me, if you're gonna steal a car part, you're kind of a beta, you know, like an alpha would steal the whole car.
Okay.
In my opinion.
In your humble opinion. Yeah.
In my humble opinion. So the original poster Paige is back. She's responding to Julie and said, I thought about contacting them regarding the cigarettes. I think she's talking about the police. However, without proof, I guess they would just be essentially looking for fingerprints. That might be a lead. But even at that point, it would just be a lead, I suppose. So unfortunately, I figured it's probably not something they would pursue. And my first thought is like, who are you to say? Why not just call the police and let them figure it out from there? You had something stolen. This is one of the few times where I'm actually like, yes, you should call the police. Something got stolen off your car. You with me on
Yeah,
this?
yeah, but this happens so much though. There's not a lot they can do.
Whatever.
Plus, I mean, it's 2020. You've seen a crime television show. I'm positive of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fingerprints, there could be several prints on there, and they have to be in the system, meaning that they've done a crime before for that to show up. So let's just get off the cigarettes, can
And
we?
and like you said, it might not even be the same person's cigarettes.
I'm
Could be
convinced it's
anyone's.
not.
Yeah. If you're going around stealing stuff, you're not just dropping packs of cigarettes off as evidence. I don't think. I think you'd be a little bit more cautious. Again, I'm trying to get in the
Maybe
mind. Listen, I have my true crime hat on right now. I'm trying to get in
right.
the mind of this thief. If I'm going and I'm getting under someone's car and stealing a catalytic converter, I'm not dropping my smokes out of my front pocket. I'm just not. I'm gonna make sure those
See,
those bad
I
boys
knew
stay
people
in there.
call them smokes. I knew it.
Oh my god.
No,
Oh.
I agree though. I agree. Unless this was like their first time, and I guess someone's still in a like people aren't just I don't know. This seems like a desperate. I've been out of money for a few weeks. Let
Mhm.
me go find a catalytic converter and get a couple $100. Did it say how much they're worth?
It did not. It might have, but I didn't do much more research. I have no
God,
idea.
I thought you had your hat on. What? I'm getting mixed messages from you.
I didn't know I had to do a bunch of research. I'm just doing. I have my hat on, which means my brain's activated for this. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's more than usual. So please let's keep it rolling while your brain is actually functioning. Uh, this this comment made me laugh.
Let's hear it.
Hollis, what?
I said, let's hear it.
Oh, well, yeah, let's.
Let's hear the
Uh,
comment, and I want to hear you laugh too, because you said it made you laugh.
Hollis hops in and says, "Bummer, car brand." Which, why?
I think
Is that is
I
that relevant?
I think so because I think Hollis might just be a nice, good-hearted human, and he might have a couple laying around, or putting my true detective hat back on here, he might have stolen one last night, and he wants to make sure they're not hot on his case.
A couple things. I think you're closer with the latter. And number two, stop taking your hat off. All right, just leave the leave the hat on, so we don't have to keep going back to it.
All right, that sounds good. I can do that. Oh, Hollis and Paige go back and forth. She responds and said, "Did you already say it was a Kia Soul or no?"
No, no, this is new information.
So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm sorry if you have a Kia and you're listening. That's you're gonna take offense to this, but this catalytic converter couldn't be more than $3, right?
I was actually about to say this person got had because I'm pretty sure Kia Soul makes their catalytic converters out of plastic.
Oh my god.
About to take it to the scrap guy, like, nope.
He's like, "Where'd you get this one?
bruh,
Kia?"
bruh, you got this off of Kia? Come on, bruh. Nah, I've been doing this for 20 years, bruh.
I see a Kia catalytic converter. What I see those things coming from a mile away. Oh my god. We got some more suggestions if you scroll down here a little bit. Darlene says check with nearby neighbors. And then Joanne says, "Wait, is this the second time they stole your converter within 1 week?" And then Paige says, "No, just this one time, I hope." Where was Joanne's head at? Why did she think that it was the second time? Is it because she said they're back? The thieves are
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
Okay.
Or
Well,
still in the neighborhood. So maybe they went around and just took everybody's converter.
oh, she actually clears it up right here. The next post, she started a new thread. Again, this is what always confused me. If she just stayed in the same thread, I would have followed this the whole time. But she started a new post and said, then you are the second person because someone posted the other day on the same street that their cat converter got stolen.
Oh,
So this
see, I would have
is
called it a lytic, but they went with cat. I like that.
mhm.
That probably makes a little bit more sense.
I would have went with Cat Con.
Ooh.
Your Cat Con got stolen again. That kind of sounds like a weird festival. Like, come on down to Cat Con. Big fan of cats.
Those are the type of people that put a leash on their cat and try to take him for a walk.
Oh man. So they go back and forth for a little bit talking about Okay, so here's the thing. I never took my hat off, but I'm back. We get it. Multiple cat cons got stolen, and
Are you rolling with that?
yeah, I'm going with it.
Okay.
So then I have to have you do this next comment because I do not know how to pronounce this person's name. If you scroll past that next thread,
Abdul Wahab.
what did he say?
Wahab.
He had probably the best suggestion on the whole thing, I would say.
He said, "Check with your neighbor if someone have a security camera." Come on, man.
Why'd you read it like that, though?
Because that's how it said. He forgot. He said it wrong, or he typed it wrong. I just read.
It said if someone have a security camera. Oh my god, dude!
That's how it's typed out, man. I can't.
You're right. I don't know. Sometimes I just read sentences like correctly, even though they're written wrong. I don't know. You did it. You read it right though.
Yeah, I read it exactly. I don't want to. This is these people's truths, man. I'm not going to take away from that.
Oh man, I hope you pronounced his name right, and I hope he's listening too. And
Abdul Wahab.
What? Say it again.
Abdul Wahab.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's right. I'm gonna finish up right here with my favorite comment. I think this is a good stopping point. It was Mike.
Oh my gosh.
He said, "You should probably not touch cigarettes. Bag the pack and have the police fingerprint. Most of these people do have prior arrests. When our car was broken into, the police fingerprinted windows, etc." Okay, that's the end of his comment. What happened after they fingerprinted, though? That's what we really need to know. Did anything ever come of it?
Right. Because
Probably
otherwise,
not.
this was a bunch of malarkey.
Oh, Mike spitting out the malarkey. I'm going to give him the Dr. Aki Award because he thinks he's a professional. We haven't given out this award in a while, so he's acting like he's a professional because he's been through it one time. Like, my car got broken into and they fingerprinted. Cool, dude. That doesn't mean that that's what they're going to do every time.
See, now Mike has been watching too many police shows.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm just imagining like little young Paige out in the street with some with some tongs, like not trying to touch this, like put him into a plastic bag.
I'm looking at his photo right now. He looks like he just looks like a good time all the way around. He looks like the type of guy you really want to hang out with. Oh, Mike. I would like to point out, I had my car / home broken into one time. And speaking of, and the police did fingerprint and nothing came of it. I don't know if this would help in this situation. I don't know if fingerprinting the cigarettes is going to help. I just don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a waste of time, money, everything.
Did they take your fingerprint so they could cancel you out?
No, they didn't.
Oh, well, there we go.
I'm also not in the system. I don't have any prior arrests. So
yeah, well, listeners don't know that.
That's true. What'd you think about this post? I thought it kind of sucked.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have forced a second episode this week, but you know what?
We had to, though.
We had to because the virus.
Yeah.
The COVID.
Hey, if the world ends, people will never hear this anyways, though, and that's all we can really hope for at this point.
That might be for the best.
Yeah. I would like to take some time and say thanks to everyone that's been listening. Really appreciate you. Oh, dude, did I tell you we have some international listeners now in multiple countries too. So I wanted to take some time to shout them out real quick. We had a listener in Ireland. I don't know anybody in Ireland. So if you are still listening and you're from Ireland, please send us an email so we can give you a proper shout out. And then we had a couple downloads in the UK. I do know someone in the UK. But then the one that got me was Israel. Someone in Israel listening to multiple episodes. So if you're still listening, hit us up on nextdoor@gmail.com. I want to know who you are because that's amazing.
That's aggressive.
Is it though? Like, I feel like we should know our listeners. I want to get them involved.
Okay. Well, that's half of the team wants to do that. So that's
You don't want to know who the Israel guy or girl is?
if they want to come forward, I guess. I don't know.
Fine. Okay, Israel person. If you want to come forward.
Now you're calling them Israel person. Now you're who wants to talk to you after being called that?
Which is exactly why I want to know who it is so I can call them by their proper God-given name.
Okay. All right.
No, but that's really exciting. Thank you everybody that's been listening in the United States as well. Hope you're all safe. Hope you're all not sick. All that good stuff. Wash your hands and everything. And after you wash your hands, go follow us on Twitter at Next.
That was amazing.
What is our Twitter?
Was...
On Nextdoor. At On Nextdoor on Twitter. And then Next Up on Nextdoor on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, this is very important. Brad, I'll let you announce this. We're doing something special for episode 10. This was kind of your idea, so I think you should announce it.
Well, it was... sure, I'll take credit for it. Anyway, what we're going to do for our episode 10, because who knows if we're going to make it past that. 10, in my mind, is a huge number for this podcast.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is something a little bit different. We have a lot of posts out there that don't have a ton of comments, but we love just the titles. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive through several of these titles. And what we want you guys to do is create the comments for us.
I think we're going to post them on our Instagram/Facebook story throughout the week after this episode comes out. So like starting Saturday through that week, we'll do like 7. That sounds like a good round number.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay.
It's an odd number, but hey, something like that. 5 to 7. We really didn't talk this through at all.
Neither of those are round, but all right.
Well, 6s though. That's in the range of what I said.
Yeah, somewhere between those. We'll do a few.
We'll put one out each week, and we'll put the little box in there that you can make the comments in right on the Instagram story or the Facebook story. So make sure you're following us on that. You can be part of the show. You'll get a shout out, and we'd love to read your guys' comments as we go through. Again, these titles are hilarious, but they don't have any comments, so it's hard to talk about them on the show with no comments. So
yeah. Be careful though, because we will still be giving out the Dr. Aki comment of the week. So don't.
And make sure you type everything correctly too, because we will roast you if you don't.
Yeah. So. And we might say last names. Who knows?
I'm definitely saying last names for sure. Do you have any other shout outs this week? We didn't really give anybody a shout out. Let's shout somebody out. It's your turn.
No, because we literally just recorded the other episode. Nothing has happened. Who am I supposed to shout out?
I don't know. Somebody. Let me scroll through my Instagram. I'm going to find a random follower. A random follower is about to get a shout out right now.
There we go.
Go to the page.
All right, so let me just scroll through here.
God.
All right. Big shout out.
Oh, God.
Why are you covering your face up, man? Let the people hear you, see you. Lindsay Taylor is who we're shouting out this week.
All right.
Mrs. Tony Tomahawk.
Shout out to Lindsay.
Big ups. Big ups, Lindsay. Thanks for the follow.
I wonder if she's listening. Lindsay, if you're listening, thank you. I was going to say do something, but I've done enough call to actions today. So thanks for listening, Lindsay, if you're out there. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate everybody that's been listening, especially our international listeners, of course.
For sure. That's amazing. That really is cool, though.
The Israel person and all the other people out there.
And no idea why they would feel a connection to this, but thanks. I hope you guys enjoy.
Me too. I don't have anything else.
To speak.
Do you want me to do the closing this time? You had such a struggle with it last week.
Oh, wow.
And
choke on my words at the beginning. No, I think I'll, I don't know. You want to give it a shot?
Sure. Why not? No, I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
It's your
There's a
thing,
lot of
man.
like you think it's just easy, but as always, make sure that you are positively keeping all of your eyes on all of your neighbors because they just might be keeping an eye on you.